let's swap a verse, and I can play ball in real life. So when they making fun, it never work. They think they offended me, I'm dodging that energy. I know who my friends are now, you currently dead to me. This shit gon' last a century, and every time they mention me, increase my life expectancy. Maybe this my destiny, loved and hated, then hated and loved. Never betrayed to be a thug, but know a couple who hold slugs. Ain't fighting Spider-Man, but everything I'm spitting venom. Had to look in the mirror and get my shit together, cause sometimes you think it's over, but it's only getting better. Yeah, good friends going with the wind, like Pac said. Legends never die, so we not dead. I'm a fresh white boy, you can call me a pothead. They can say I ain't got bread.
Ramily. Welcome in to Ramsaholic. I'm your host, Shay. You can find me on X at Shay Tweeted At. And of course, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Smash that like button, share, and leave a comment. So let's get into it. This week, our Los Angeles Rams take on the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football in what looks to be a good one. The Rams are 1-1, while the Bengals surprisingly are 0-2. But in Joe Burrow's tenure with the Bengals, they have been notorious for starting slow. On the Rams side, we're carrying some gunners, some weapons. Offensive line, much improved. No shock. We had a lot of injuries last year, but I feel this is one of the best offensive lines that we've had in the Sean McVay era so far. We really didn't allow 49ers to do anything to Stafford until they brought 5 or more, which is a blitz. And for them to have to blitz with their starting 4 defensive linemen, that tells you a lot, right? The Bengals aren't going to have the firepower they had. The only team comparable would be the Philadelphia Eagles. So the offensive line for the Rams looks to be in good shape. Matthew Stafford, 2 straight games over 300 passing yards. With a clean pocket, you know what Stafford's going to do for you. He only has 1 passing touchdown this year to go with 2 interceptions. Definitely more of a conservative play calling, more passes underneath with the occasional 10 to 15 yard pass, which seems to be going to Tutu Atwell. Speaking of Tutu Atwell, he surprised me. Tutu Atwell is someone we took in the second round, 2021 draft, and was a pick that I was definitely not the biggest fan of. Sorry, 2020 draft. This is his 3rd season. Thought he was undersized, very small, definitely fast, shifty, but did not think the second round price tag was worth it. And for the most part, up into these last 2 games, it hasn't been, but he's stepping up. The whole offense as a whole is definitely improved. We scored 30 points, then 23 points. So good things there. Puka Nacua, 25 receptions already in only 2 games. That's more than Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle combined. That's more than T. Higgins and Jamar Chase combined. And it leads the whole league. And he is second in yards. He still does not have a touchdown. I think that touchdown will be coming this week. We have to get a passing touchdown to one of these wide receivers. We're getting catches, yards. Him and Tutu Atwell have 25 first downs combined. And their next closest guy is Kyren Williams with 3. So big disparity there between who Stafford's really looking at for these first downs. And it's the young guys. The whole team in general is young. Tyler Higbee hasn't been really doing nothing major. But, you know, this is a game of football, and sometimes numbers don't tell you the whole story. Tyler Higbee's out there 90+% of the snaps. He's doing a great job blocking. Bryce Hopkins was in last game, had a holding call on him, and then didn't really see the field much after that. So tight ends, everything's looking solid. Ben Skoranek looked like he got more snaps last week. Looks like he's put on some size, strong guy. Had a nice first down on a handoff. made contact. It's a good team. Offense is looking sharp. If you look at the passing leaders right now in the NFL for passing yards, the Rams are third at 641 passing yards, 6.9 yards an attempt, 62.4% completion percentage on 58 of 93, with 31 first downs passing. Great numbers there. 8 passes over 20 yards, 0 over 40, long of 44, 20 plus 7, 40 plus 1, with only 1 sack. That's incredible. Through 2 games, 1 sack. Granted, Seattle doesn't have the best defensive line, but San Francisco, he only allowed 1 sack on a blitz. That is very good. That is second in the NFL, tied for second with the Chiefs, Dolphins, Buccaneers, and Cowboys. So the Raiders haven't even allowed a sack yet. That is another impressive team that on the offensive line. That's a surprise. Now, how about our defense? The defense had its moments against San Fran, but seems like the edge is an issue. Christian McCaffrey's biggest run to the outside. No one's sealing the edge. Michael Hoyt is too small. Darion Kendrick isn't the best tackler. Kenneth Walker, biggest runs of the game to the outside. You run in the B gaps, C gaps on the Rams, A gaps, you're looking for trouble because Kobe Turner has been great there. Brown, Thomas, Aaron Donald, got some big bodies now. It's tough to run in those A, B, C gaps on the Rams. But now you go out to the E's, you go to the outsides, you're going to have a lot of success running on the Rams. And the good thing is Joe Mixon isn't the most fastest running back, so he doesn't have really that much speed compared to those other 2 guys to bounce it outside. Our passing defense right now, we've only allowed 301 passing yards and only 1 passing touchdown. So the 301 yards has us 5th best in the NFL. 1 passing touchdown, obviously tied for first. Every team's allowed at least 1 passing touchdown at this point. We are allowing 64% completion percentage on 5.9 yards an attempt. So we're not giving up a lot of yards. We're not getting killed. The secondary was talked about as being horrible. But you look at a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, they've allowed 652 passing yards. Chargers, 666. Seahawks, 650. And those are 3 teams that, honestly, their secondaries were supposed to be really dominant. But they're allowing a lot of yards. And yeah, you have the Colts, 574, no surprise there. So the Rams overall, their pass defense has definitely been a surprise. Now, the run defense has been a surprise. We've obviously given up some boom plays, but we have allowed 244 rushing yards at 5.3 yards per carry and 3 rushing touchdowns. So that is the area we need to improve on, as I just mentioned, the edge. Everyone's bouncing outside. Those dives, everything closer in the guards, we're stopping that. We have to find a way to contain the edge. This is why I'm big on pushing for a guy like Brian Burns. We need that star to complement Aaron Donald so the edge is set. But overall, our defense is better than advertised. We've allowed 13 points and 30 points, average of 20. San Francisco's offense is one of the better ones in football, so no surprise there. To win this game, keys to winning this game: play turnover-free football. You're on the road. versus a team that you beat in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. So revenge is on the mind of the players and the fans that will be attending this game in Cincinnati. It will be a hostile environment. They are 0-2, so they're going to be really, really hungry to win this game. So you have to not give them more chances on offense. We have to protect the ball, right? We have to get the run game going. The Cincinnati Bengals have allowed the second most rushing yards in the NFL. So we're not the best. We allow 244. They allowed 384 yards rushing already. They did play Lamar Jackson. They did play Nick Chubb, but they didn't play J.K. Dobbins, right? So that is a lot of yards to allow in just 2 weeks. That's almost 200 yards a game allowed. 5 yards per carry on 77 attempts with 2 rushing touchdowns allowed. This screams a Kyren Williams game where he could actually hit 100 yards finally rushing. You want to hold the clock, play hard smash mouth football, and run on this Cincinnati defense. Also, their passing defense, let me see. So their passing defense is, one second. So they've allowed 381 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns. So that's not bad. They did play Deshaun Watson in a rain game, so not a lot of throwing, which could mean that could be a big reason that they allowed so many rushing yards. Week 1, still they allowed 80 more passing yards than we have. So this defense is not the best. They have 3 sacks. So the Rams are gotta play great on offense. We just went through San Francisco. This should not be more of a challenge. This is not as good of a defense. And then on offense, they're really struggling. They have the second fewest passing yards in the NFL at 304 passing yards, only 56% completion percentage on 41 of 73, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. Joe Burrow's been sacked 3 times. So, speaking of Joe Burrow, he may be really banged up coming into this game. I do think he is going to play now. They're saying that his calf is feeling better. It's Wednesday today, so the first practice does not start until tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we should know more tomorrow. I will post on my YouTube Shorts an update as I hear more on Joe Burrow. Personally, I want Joe Burrow to play. I want the biggest challenge for our defense. I don't want free wins, easy wins. I want to beat you at your best. Although he won't be at his best, legitimately, the guy is hurt. Bengals would be smart to maybe let him sit a game or two to let that calf get really to 100% because they've looked off in their first 2 games. But on the opposite hand of that, you're 0-2 now. You're not 2-0 to be in a predicament where you could say, oh, we can sit them for 2 games, possibly lose both, but we'll be 2-2. You lose 2 games, you're 0-4. So the Bengals really are going to push Joe Burrow to his limit. He will end up playing in this game. It's a Monday night game, so he gets that extra day of rest. It's prime time. They're going to inject him with something to make him fight through that pain. But the point is, Aaron Donald is going to be coming down, and he'll be coming at him. So you better be prepared and ready. Now, the Bengals' run game is the 5th worst as far as rush yards in the NFL. They only have 141 rush yards this season. We only have 181 yards, but our running back is dynamic and can catch out the backfield. They are averaging 4 yards per carry, facing a team like the Rams allowing over 5 yards per carry. That is probably going to be their go-to this game. They're going to try to put a run game on the Rams to keep Joe Burrow clean, healthy. And you have to this team on paper is still one of the best in the AFC. They have not looked as good, but usually they do start slow. Wide receivers, they have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Irv Smith at tight end. So they have weapons. Their offensive line is still not a top unit. Collins is no longer there. So the Rams are gonna push this offensive line, and Aaron Donald is gonna have to be a wrecking force. So that's another key, is getting pressure on Burrow. He's hurt. He's not going to try to get hit, so he's going to throw quick. We have to get to him. We let Brock Purdy have way too much time in the pocket, and he overthrew 3 times the 49ers wide receivers in what looked to be touchdowns. So those are some keys to the game. And now here's my final thoughts and prediction. So I think Puka is going to have another great game. I see another 10-catch game, over 100 yards, and finally a receiving touchdown. I think this is the first game that Kyren Williams runs for over 100 yards. And I think our defense gets 3 or more sacks in this game. For the Bengals, I think Chase finally breaks out of the slump he's been in. I do think he hits over 100 yards. I think we limit Joe Mixon to under 50 rushing yards. We're going to really make that a priority. And 3+ sacks should do good for us. I don't think Joe Burrow is going to kill us. I don't think he's healthy enough to be the Joe Burrow of old. And I believe that the Los Angeles Rams will win this game 24-20. Close game. I'm not going to say we're going to blow them out, but the Rams will get it done. All right, Ramily. So make sure to like, subscribe, share with anyone that you know is a Rams fan. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. I'm your boy, Ramsaholic. Follow me on X at Shay Tweeted At, and I'm out.
It's 4 a.m. in New Bedford, I'm getting my shit together. City just ain't safe, these kids down for whatever. Letting the lead fly, they flocking just like a feather. I couldn't stay there forever, career not getting better. I ain't no rap, but can't imagine not getting cheddar. They posting pics in they base models, not even leather. It's not even leather. It's 4 a.m. White.